Hi everyone, good morning or good afternoon and welcome to this webinar. My name is Marley Vallaneda and I am a pre and post sale engineer from EPCOM, and today we are gonna talk about captive portal configuration with Reyee. So, okay, let's get started. And before we gonna start this, I'm gonna asking you for download the Reyee app in your App Store or your Google Play Store, and please scan this QR code that you can now see in your screen. It's very easy. It's only you have to search the Reyee and download and click in the scan button on the top right and scan this QR code. And with this QR code, you can access to a demo project. And with this demo project, you can try some of the features that Reyee and Reyee offer. So I'm gonna wait 2 minutes to you for download and scan this QR code before it start. Okay, I guess now we can start. So we're gonna start talking about what is a captive portal, or to what we refer with the word captive portal. As we see here, is a technique used in the computed networks to require users to authenticate their identity or accept certain terms and conditions before accessing the network or online services. So the captive portal are used to manage and control access to the network, ensuring that only authorized users can use the available resources. They can also be used to offer personalized service such as advertisement or promotion during the authentication process. So what this means, a captive portal is a way, is an avenue to um, redirect the online traffic to the new user to try to connect to our network. It is very useful for the hotel, for our office, or or for sometimes ways to manage the network traffic. So it's very easy to configure with Reyee and Reyee, and we're gonna see our example to create a captive portal. So we're gonna enter to the Reyee cloud. Here we currently see my cloud. It's important to emphasize this, that for this webinar, I am going to do the configuration by the website, but we can do this same configuration by the application. So it's very easy and it's the same process. Okay, now we can see the current project, and here is my project. It's a very simple network, a gateway, a switch, and 12 APs. Okay, so for create and the captive portal, we have to follow 4 steps. It's a simple steps. The first step is to create a VLAN. And why a VLAN? A VLAN is a web or is a virtual LAN to manage all the traffic, to redirect the traffic or the new traffic to this new VLAN. So for create the VLAN, we have to enter this to device config and to the gateway and click in interface. So now we can see the current VLANs. As we can see, we only have the default VLAN of the router. So we have to create a new one. So we click here in add VLAN and we put the VLAN ID. We have to remember this number because we have to redirect all the traffic and to this VLAN. So we can put the ID number 10 and we can put this a description. We can put captive portal, for example, and we have to put an IP address and the subnet map. The IP address is the range of IPs to redirect this VLAN. So we can put wherever IP is 192.168.10.0.1, for example, and we can put a subnet mask. We can choose wherever of these three subnet masks, but we can put another one, for example, a /28, a /30, a /15, for example, but for this case, I want to put 255.255.255.0 and that 10. And now we have to put the DHCP pool range, and that refers to the available IPs that we can use in this VLAN. So we have to start with the same IP and we have to finish to 254 because it says it's a /24. So for this, we gonna configure this for 8 days. So we check the VLAN ID, the description of the VLAN ID, the IP address, the subnet mask, and the DHCP range. Everything looks good and click in save. We can see here save success and we click here and we see VLAN has been updated successfully. So the first step is done. So we create a new VLAN and now we have to create a new SSID. For what? Here in wireless, we see the SSID. Now we can see the default SSID that I configured that for the principal configuration of my IPs, we have to create a new one to redirect everything or everyone that we allows we can or they can try to connect to our network. Well, we have to redirect to this new SSID. So we have to click here and add SSID. We have to put this a new number. For example, I don't know, webinar. Sorry. Okay. And we have to choose here the encryption option. For this kind of configuration, I recommend click in do not encrypt. Why? Because we will to put another type of authentication later in this kind of configuration. So click in do not encrypt. And here in advance, we have to redirect this new SSID to our new VLAN. So we have click here in other VLAN and enter the VLAN ID that we create before, that is VLAN 10. For the rest of the configuration, we will put the same. We didn't need a client isolation for this case, or a speed limit or rate limit for SSID users. We can manage this kind of configuration later in this webinar. So we see here and everything looks good and click in OK. Okay, now we will see the new SSID and the new network. Okay, so first of all, we create the VLAN and now we create the SSID. Okay, so now we have to create the captive portal. So here in Auth and Accounts, we click in captive portal and we click here in Add Captive Portal. We have to put a policy name for here and webinar portal, for example. Sorry, portal. Okay, we click in inner. The authentication device will be the router, and here we redirect everything to the VLAN 10. Looks okay, and we have to choose a portal page. And how we have to choose the portal page? If we click here in the portal page, we have to put first of all the name. For example, portal 1. And here is very important. This is a very important to see is the login option. We will choose how the user can be connected to this network. By one-click login is only click here and nothing else. A voucher, the user have to put a password to access to the network. For an account, the user can be an account and a password to access to the network by SMS or by registration. For this webinar, I will click in voucher. And here is the URL that we redirect when we try to connect to this network. For this, I wanna stay with the region networks that come by default. We can configure this, we can edit this. You can put your URL of your page or something else, and we can customize this page by a background image. For example, we have some samples image and we can upload a new one if we want, or change to a solid color. For example, we can change the logo, we can change the welcome message, we can change the default language. For example, we can change the language by English by default, and we can change the text color, the text size, the button color, the link color, etc., etc., etc. So I'm gonna choose this, and with the vouchers and something else, we can see how we gonna enter to the network by mobile devices or by your desktop. So I'm gonna choose this. I click in OK. And now we can see our page here. We click in on there. We can edit if we want edit in the future. For example, we can click here in edit if we can change something. So we click here and we click in OK. So now we have our captive portal. So we create a VLAN, we create an SSID, and we create a captive portal. Now, how the users can be entered to this network, because I choose vouchers to the method. So we have to create the vouchers for this case. So here in out and accounts, we have to click here in user management. As we can see here, and we see an account, vouchers, and user group. And in an account file, we will to create a password and user if we had to click in password, for example. And voucher here in vouchers, we will to create the vouchers for this webinar. But first of all, we have to create the user group to redirect the users for this. So it's very easy. Click in user group and click here in add. For example, to do an account test, we will to create two groups. One of them, it will be guest. We can customize the price. if you want, and the concurrent devices. The concurrent devices are this, the device that we can connect with the same code. For example, a tablet, a laptop, and a smartphone. We can customize this to one to unlimited, for example. From this case, I gonna choose one, and this is the period of time that the password of the voucher will be enabled. For here, 1 hour, and the quota is the maximum data that the single user can be used navigating to the network. So I can choose 500 megabits, and here is the upload and download rate that every single user can be used for this network. So I'm gonna choose 10 megabits per second, and that's it. We click in OK, and now our user group it'll be created. We can put another one, premium, for example, and with 5 concurrent devices for example, 1 day, and the quota is 2 gigabits, for example, and the upload and download rate unlimited. So we click in OK, and now we create the 2 of user groups. So now we have to create the vouchers. So we're gonna be here in the voucher side and click here in add vouchers. So here we're gonna choose the quantity of vouchers that we want to create. If, for example, I choose 5 and I want to create 100 more, I can create 100 more. So for example, I choose 2 and I have to redirect to which user group I will create these vouchers. For example, I create 2 for guests, and if I want, I gonna put here some information about us, like name, email, phone number, alias, and we have to customize the type of encryption of these vouchers, alphanumeric, alphabetic, or only numeric. For this example, I'm gonna stay this configuration exactly the same, alphanumeric 09 IC and 6 digits, and we will click in OK. And now we can see the vouchers. This is the code, this is the user group. We can see the period of time, the date that we created, and the date that we activated and expired the voucher, the device, the MAC, and the total traffic. Now we can see here the upload and download limit that we customized before. So we wanna click to see another 5 vouchers for premium, for example, and click in OK. And now we can see the 5 vouchers for premium users for 1 day. The day that we create these vouchers, the device can be connected using this code, and the traffic and the upload and download limit. So it's gonna do a try. Here I have my smartphone. Let me show my screen. Here is my smartphone, and we're gonna try to connect to this network with this voucher. So here is our network that we call webinar. And if we click on there, we say connected, and automatic this redirect to us to the the page that we configured before, and they asking to us an access code. Let us try it with guess RMUVE6 and click in login. Okay, now we are connected. Let me try the speed limit because we customize this to a limit of 10 megabits for user. So let us check. And seems is working with the features that we customized before. Okay, so it's working. It's working with this configuration. If I refresh the page, I can see here in voucher again. I can see here this in use in a status. I can see now the date and the hour that is currently activated this, and the date and the hour that we expired the devices connected using this code, and the traffic that I spent. And as we check, the date, the upload and download limit is working. So this is barely enough, but I can export these vouchers if I want to, like here. And if we click in export, I can download this in an Excel file of if I want to print these vouchers, I will click here in print, and I can customize this, like for a logo, for example, and for the few characteristic of theirs, like name, that period, the upload rate, that download rate of the quota, for example. And if you click in OK, automatic print this kind of vouchers. So I think that's it. So if you have a question, please do it. I will put here the QR code again. So you have any questions, any doubts about this webinar, be free to do it in the question box. If not, I will wait 1 or 2 minutes to close this webinar. Okay, I guess we don't have questions today. So I will close this webinar. Thank you to everyone for your time, and I hope we have a very, very good day. So see you in the next time. Goodbye.